Well, that's the last time I ate one of those brownies on the break. Coming to the stage, very talented gentleman. I just had the pleasure of meeting him 10 minutes ago, but you're going to meet him now. Put your hands together for Mr. Denny Glasser.
Comedy Cube, it's good to be here. I'm 29 years old, I'm from Ohio, and I'm a leasing agent. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm the least special person in this room right now. That's right, I'm from Ohio. I could not wait to leave Ohio, guys. It's kind of a theme. We all can't wait, right? Every time I tell people that I'm from Ohio out here in LA, I always get the same response. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you out here. Yeah, it's because we had enough of the snow and the Cleveland Browns. It never works the other way, too. I'm never in Ohio and been like, oh my gosh, there's so many of you from California out here. I mean, the excitement and the disappointment is all within the name of the state. Oh, hi. Oh. I couldn't wait to leave. I took the first job I could get out of high school to get out of Ohio. I went out on the Great Lakes, 1,000-foot steamship. It was incredible. I went to Cleveland, Ohio, of course, my home state, and I saw this man named Old Willie at the Merchant Marine's office, straight out of a Tim Burton's movie, guys. 7 feet tall, pale white, peg for a leg, hook for an arm. And he goes, "Arr, so you want to go out on the old Great Lakes, lad?" And I'm like, yes, anything to get me out of Ohio. "Arr, well, the only thing left is the old semen wiper." I'll take it. I took it. It's a real position. I took it. I go out on this Great Lake, 1,000-foot steamship, guys, and it was incredible. Every single one of my coworkers hated me. They were all 55 and older. And they said, why do we want to be like a kid that's 18 years old with the whole future ahead of them? And to their point, they're right. I mean, the only thing these guys had to look forward to was getting to dock and having sex with women. I mean, losers. I'd much rather be Skyping my high school sweetheart. She had a sweater on. The conversation always ended the same way. "I love you, baby. I gotta go clean up some more semen now." The worst was that night. The first night on the job, we're fueling the ship, and the hose starts to rattle. And next thing you know, it just starts breaking loose and spraying everybody with oil all over the fantail. I mean, it was disgusting. It looked like a scene out of the movie Grease, if the movie Grease was about grease. I remember saying, man, this sucks for whoever has to clean this up. And someone in the back yelled, "You semen wiper!" That's when it hit me. The ship, it came on us. Guess who had to clean it up? And that high school sweetheart, she became my fiance. Yeah. Thank you. 12 years. Thank you. 12 years together. In LA years, that's just, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. Yeah, it's kind of a miracle that it even started in the first place. I took my high school sweetheart at that time to go see the movie Secretariat. Yeah, my buddies were like, "What are you thinking? Secretariat." All the other movies, Dear John, Valentine's Day starring Ashton Kutcher, any other movie not starring a 1970s racehorse, maybe? And I mean, to their defense, they make a great point. And to my defense, we didn't really watch the movie. You gotta give me a break though. Back when we started dating, there was no dating apps. The closest thing we had to dating apps were 2 for $20 at Applebee's. Yeah. I remember I came home that night and my dad was like, "Hey, how was the movie?" I was a really big Secretariat fan growing up. And I'm like, "It was great. He won by a landslide." He's like, "That's not how it happened at all." I'm like, "That's how I saw it." As bad as I am, though, at picking out movies, I'm fantastic at relationship advice. People are like, "You've been together for 12 years. What's the secret?" You gotta know the pet peeves, the triggers. You have to know it. My fiance's trigger, she hates when I tell jokes about our relationship. But she's not here tonight, so when the cat's away, the mouse will tell jokes about the relationship. My big pet peeve is when she gets baby fever. I mean, keep in mind, she's had both of her vaccinations now, so there should be no fevers at all. She gets baby fever, guys. We tried everything. We tried talking about it. We tried a cold washcloth. We even tried overly protective sex. That's when I become a different kind of semen wiper. Nothing worked except plants. Tons and tons of succulents. Guys, our family is growing. Next month, we're expecting a baby cucumber. It's really cute. Thank you. We also got a new car. We're excited about that. I'm taking her to and from work. I'm like her own personal Uber driver. It's really hard to get a 5-star review, even from your fiance. But I'm trying out those voices. You guys know what I'm talking about, these GPS voices. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan. Love that guy. He's funny, but he's useless. I put him on, I'm driving down the road, and he's like, I'm like, Seth, we're getting to a dead end. Any advice? Had to get someone, a little more well-established. I went with Owen Wilson. Love that guy. Wow, you're doing such a great job, Danny. You're like my own best friend, Vince Vaughn. You'd even take that left like him. Hey, turn right here on Santa Monica. And crash right over at that wedding. Yeah. That's a 2005 movie reference. Thank you. I lastly had to go with someone with a higher IQ, so I had to go with Sebastian Maniscalco, obviously. Like, Sebastian Maniscalco here. Why do you need me to tell you how to get to point A to point B? Are you stupid or something? Like, can you read a map? I'll give you some kind of direction. Turn right on Vine Street, park your car, and take the key out of the ignition and buy a map, you stupid idiot. I had to stop it. It made me question every decision in my whole life. But speaking of comedians in cars, you guys know that show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld? Who in their right mind would ever want to get interviewed by Jerry Seinfeld? The whole thing would be overanalyzed. Like, what's the deal with coffee? And what's the deal with comedians in cars? I'm like, Jerry, that's the premise of your show. And what's the deal with people from Ohio? Why are they always trying to leave? And does a washcloth get rid of baby fever? And does semen wipers clean up semen? What's the deal? Jerry, the light's green. And what's the deal with traffic lights? That guy. Thank you. Like I said earlier, I am a leasing agent at a really cool apartment complex. I show apartments all day. I have a couple pet peeves, though. I do. Last week, I was touring a couple, and they kept making out. Everywhere I looked, they're making out, smacking lips with each other. I'm like, oh, get a room. For $24.95, 755 square feet. Plenty of space to get a room. But that's not the worst pet peeve. The worst pet peeve is when people say, have a good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If you have bed bugs, tell your property management, okay? This isn't a joke, this is a PSA. Like, seriously, let us know. That's a $2,000 heat treatment, guys. I mean, goodness. It's like, you might as well be saying, we have a major infestation of blood-sucking demons that will travel to the whole building. Have a good night. What if I told you, like, have a good day, don't choke on your food. Chew your food. Chew your food. That's just a rant. I'm very spiritual. I ghost people all the time. I don't like going to psychics, though, because I don't like spoilers. Unless it's about sports gambling, then I'm all in on the psychics. Especially right now, fantasy football, I'm going to a lot of psychics. I'm getting a lot of readings right now, and my neighbor, Richard, keeps coming through, like trying to say hi to me and that he is proud of everything I've done. I'm like, shut up, Richard. I'm trying to find out if I should start Antonio Brown tonight. This is a big Thursday night football game. Richard's a pain in the butt, and just to throw this out there, if you guys ever say pain in the butt, like, you gotta think, do you really know what that feels like? I do. How do I know? Pilonidal cyst. What's that? That's a great follow-up question. It's an ingrown hair. Mine went all the way down, bippity-boppity boop, to my tailbone. Yeah, true story. It took 2 years, two surgeries, and 52 strangers, scratch at doctors, digging in my crack just like this. I was ready to lose my crap. Yeah. Mom had to come out from Ohio. I was in Chicago at the time, and she had to go in my crack just like this. Your mom, after the age of 2, should never be in your crack, guys. They said it was like a tree was cut down, but the roots were left in. Like, what? In my butt. It was a bunch of roots in my butt. High school sweetheart had to come out, now fiance, of course. She had to dig in my crack just like this. Your fiance, after no age, should be in your crack like that. But after 2 long years, I went to the doctor, and he's like, you're healed. You're good. Thank you. I'm so happy. Thank you. It felt good. And I turned around and I said, thank you, Doc. And he said, hey, it's nice to put a face to that butt, and gave me a little spank. And I was so proud, guys, that it's now all behind me. I'm no longer the butt of any jokes, and I have a lifelong supply of wisecracks. Thank you so much. I'm Denny Glasser.
This has been a Funny Media Group production.